Hi folks, this is the video segment for the solution of homework number 19. Now I already did record these things, except that unfortunately the sound was not working, the microphone was not working, so I'm repeating them this time with the sound. Okay, let's concentrate on problem 35. Now problem number 35, it says, okay, you have a trigonometric equation, and the trigonometric equation that you're interested is actually 3 cosine of x plus 1 equal to cosine of x minus 1. Now, this is called f of x, and that is called g of x. And notice that this is an easy equation that we can actually solve after a cleanup. After a cleanup, you get 2 cosine of x equal to minus 2, and cosine of x equal to minus 1. Okay, therefore it's not hard to do this. We have done many problems like that. Okay, however, they want you to do this thing graphically. Basically, they want you to find to plot the function f of x and g of x and find out the places where they're equal to each other, which means you have found the solution to that equation graphically. All right. Let's go ahead and put these things in our calculator. Okay, so first function is going to be my f of x, which is going to be 3 times cosine. Where's the cosine? Cosine of x. Well, here's x. Close the parentheses, and then plus 1. And for the second one, that's going to be our g, which is cosine of x. Make sure your calculator mode is on radians, by the way. Cosine of x, close the parentheses, and then there's a minus 1. Minus 1. And it also says use the window. For the window, it gives you some instruction. Where's the window? Is this the one? Yeah. For x minimum, minus 2 pi, negative, there's a negative, and there's your 2, and there's your pi. I think you probably have to do multiply. You can try it, I don't know. Second function pi, right there. And for maximum 2 pi, so we're going to be 2 times second function pi. There we are. And for the y min, minus 2.5 and 4.5 for y max. So let me go down here. This one should be 4.5. Okay, and then graph it. This one is f of x. And then you have g of x. And the places that intersect are exactly at these locations, these bottom two locations. See that? One over here and one over there. And if you want to know where it is, you can use a trace. There's the trace. Okay, so move it until you get to the point that you want. For example, right there, it says x equal to 3. Well, it says 3.2. It's 3.2, and on this side, it is. Let's see what's on this side. I'm pretty sure it's minus 3.2. Yeah, right. Okay, what we didn't have to do this thing graphically. It was a simple enough equation that we could actually solve the problem the usual way. Okay. Incidentally, that 3.2 is really 3.14. In other words, pi. And we know cosine of pi is minus 1. So it is actually agrees with what we get out of this. Okay, let's move on. All right. Problem number 41. It says find all solutions in interval 0 and 2 pi. 2 pi itself not included. And it tells you the trick that you need to use. You look at this sine of 2 theta, cosine of theta, minus cosine of 2 theta, sine of theta equal to root 3 over 2. It tells you that you should be using the addition and subtraction formula. If you look at the sheet that I gave you, formula sheet, this is actually sine of 2 theta minus theta. Just look at the formula that you've got. Sine of 2 theta minus theta. If you apply that formula, you're going to get the thing on the top. So these are the same thing. And this is root 3 over 2, or sine of theta equal to root 3 over 2. So your job is to give, or our job is to find all thetas in the interval 0 to 2 pi where this is the case. Let me draw the trig circle for you right there. Okay. Sine of theta equal to root 3 over 2 is about somewhere here. And obviously this angle, the first angle that we find, this is going to be pi over 3. So theta equal to pi over 3 definitely is in the interval that we want. But there's another one on this side, which is 2 pi over 3. Okay, the next time we get that value of sine is you go all the way around, but then you go outside of that range. So this is it, no more. Okay, let's do number 42 along the same line. So this is number 42, sine of 3 theta, cosine of theta, minus cosine of 3 theta, sine of theta, sine of theta equal to 0. Now, once again, that same formula tells you that this is sine of 3 theta minus theta. Go look at your formula, sine of u minus v. Okay, so it's equal to that guy, or sine of 2 theta equal to 0. Now, we have done problems like this, and I suggested you call this thing x. Okay, so we have sine of x equal to 0, and x is in the interval, x is in the interval 0 and 4 pi. If you wonder why, because remember, theta was 0 to 2 pi, but x is 2 theta, so x is 0 to 4. Your job is first to find all x's. That sine of x is 0, and x is in 0, 4 pi. So this is easy actually. X equal to 0 is 1. Just look at the trig circle. There's a trig circle. Remember, I'm talking about x. I'm not talking about theta yet. Okay? So this place where x is 0, sine is 0. The next one is on this side. So x equal to pi. It is in that interval, no problem. The next one is going to be x equal to 2 pi. Back there. And finally, x equal to 3 pi. Don't go any further, because if you go any further, then it's going to be 4 pi, but 4 pi is outside of that interval. Now, these are x's. I don't want x's. Remember, x is 2 theta. Let me write it with a different color here. X is 2 theta. So theta is x over 2. So 0 over 2 is 0. Pi over 2, well, it's pi over 2. 2 pi over 2, which means pi, and 3 pi over 2, and of course that's 3 pi over 2. Believe me, if you take any one of these thetas, which incidentally lie in the interval 0 to 2 pi, these all lie in the interval 0 to 2 pi, as we were expected to look in that area. And if you take the sine of any one of these, you're going to get you're going to get uh, if you take sine of 2 of any one of these, you're going to get 0. So for example, when theta is 0, sine of 2 times 0 is 0. When theta is pi over 2, this is sine of pi, because it's 2 theta. Sine of pi is 0. Believe me, these are it. Okay? Okay, so let's go to the other problems. Let me do one more from in this video segment. Maybe 43 and 44 we're going to do it here. Okay, 43 and 44. Let me erase these. Okay, so 43, it says sine of 2 theta plus cosine of theta equal to 0, and we want theta in 0 to 2 pi. And they're already helping you. They tell you what to use, half angle formula. So this is going to be 2 sine theta cos theta plus cos theta equal to 0. Is that right? Yep. So factor the cos of theta. You get 2 sine of theta plus 1. So you have cosine of theta equal to 0, or 2 sine of theta plus 1 equal to 0. That means you have 2 problems to do. Cos theta equal to 0 and sine theta equal to negative 1/2. And your theta must be in 0 and 2 pi. Okay, so let's patiently do cos of theta first. Cos theta equal to 0. And theta is in this range. So first of all, theta is going to be pi over 2. It's in there. And then theta equal to 3 pi over 2. If you take the cosine of any one of these, you're going to get 0. And don't go any past that, because the next time that you try to find a theta, you're going to go past the 2 pi, right? See, look at the trig circle right there. So we already got this angle, this one. Then we got this one. But the next one is going to end up here, and you're going to go past 2 pi. Now the other one is sine of theta equal to minus 1/2. You patiently have to do this. So let me remind you where the trig circle is, like this, okay? Sine equal to minus 1/2 means like that, minus 1/2. So one angle is this. So theta equal to, this is pi plus pi over 6, which is 7 pi over 6. You can see that, pi plus pi over 6, okay? And the other one is going to be, go to 2 pi, and then backtrack. Minus pi over 6, and that is 11 pi over 6. This is it. These are all in that range, and they satisfy our equation. Let's do also 44 in this segment. 44, tan of theta over 2 minus sine of theta equal to 0. Okay? Now remember, this thing, tan of theta, is sine theta over 2 over cos theta over 2. And half angle formula, minus 2 sine theta over 2 cos theta over 2. This is the same as that. Okay? Let's do a cleanup here. Take common denominator and multiply both sides. Multiply both sides by cosine of theta over 2 to get rid of the denominator. So you have sine of theta over 2 minus 2 sine of theta over 2 cosine squared theta over 2 equal to 0. And if you factor sine of theta over 2 out of this, you're going to get 1 minus 2 cosine squared theta over 2. Equal to 0. Now, if you go and look at the formulas, you see that this thing is negative cosine of 2 times theta over 2. Please go and check your formula sheet. This thing is negative cosine of 2 times that, which means negative cosine of theta. So my equation has really come down to this. Sine of theta over 2 times minus cosine of theta equal to 0. Okay? Or really, I've come down to two situations. Sine of theta over 2 equal to 0 and cosine of theta equal to 0, where theta is in 0 and 2 pi. Now we still have to finish the problem. It's not the end. We still have to finish it. But which form? Notice that I said go look it up right there. You see this? So let me get my formula sheet here. Right there. Okay. So the one that I was referring to is, if you look at the top left box, you have cosine of 2x equal to 2 cosine squared x minus 1. Okay? So if I have 1 minus 2 cosine squared x is negative cosine of 2x. Anyway, it's right here. Half angle formula. All right, let's move on and do the rest of the problem. So I patiently have to do these two problems. Okay? So let me clean this up. Or actually, I don't know. Can I insert a page here? Just remember, these are the things that we have to do. Okay, so insert page. Page break. Oh no. Okay. Let me try insert blank page. Insert. I didn't have much luck with this blank page. No, still goes up there. Okay, fine. So let's patiently do these problems. Cosine of theta. Let me do the bottom one first. Cosine of theta equal to, what was it? Equal to 0, right? Yeah, cosine of theta equal to 0. And theta is theta in 0 and 2 pi. Okay, this is obvious. Theta equal to pi over 2 and theta equal to 3 pi over 2. This is it. Nothing else. That takes care of this situation. As for the other one, that we have sine of theta over 2 equal to 0, I believe that's what it was. Is that right? Yeah. So what we did, and again, theta in 0 and 2 pi, as in the past, I called theta over 2 equal to x. So I have sine of x equal to 0 and x in. Now, if theta goes between 0 and 2 pi, x goes between 0 and pi, right? Half of these. Okay. So let's see now. We want sine of x equal to 0 and x between 0 and pi. So x equal to 0, obviously. And ordinarily, I say x equal to pi, but then this is not in that interval. See that? It says pi is not included. So this is the only solution that we have. This is the only solution that we have. But what is x? X is theta over 2. And that means theta equal to 0. So the solution to our equation is this and the other two. You should always go and check these. Check one of these three and put it in the original equation. You're going to get 0. Okay? So let me stop this.